One of the things we consistently see with small businesses is they are great at the tactical part of what they do. The business owners tend to either lack or not have time to devote to is all the other aspects of their business and opportunities that they may be missing. Larger businesses have a board of directors that can point them in that direction. Smaller businesses typically don't. You get singularly focused on the one event or the one transaction or the one line of business that you do. And I think that TAB gives a fresh perspective from independent business owners, your peers who don't have a financial interest in your success, but that have a mutual interest in your success.
I've been impressed with the way they can engage in each other's problems and really help people clarify issues, come up with a lot of different solutions, so that the owner then has a much larger set of approaches, and they can come up with their own approach to solving the problem, but they've had the chance to bounce their thinking off of a lot of different people. I think everyone accepts that they've got a significant amount of investment, personal and financial and professional in their business, and they respect that in each other. They respect each other's time, and they just deal with problems, and there's a lot of sharing about how they dealt with similar problems in the past. That builds credibility and builds trust.
Well, the experience is valuable to the bank because a client that has this as a resource is typically going to be more bankable. They are going to have, we know that they have resources beyond just their own resources. Obviously, we're banking them because they're good at their business. But having TAB and having that source of advisors behind you that meets on a regular basis lets us know that other parts of your businesses are being viewed, and your weaknesses potentially are being talked about and given remedies for.
To me, it's not just being able to bounce your thoughts off of other people. It's knowing that these other people are very much like you in their commitment to their own business and their professional life. And it gives you a situation where you have the advantage of other folks. You're not under an obligation to get their thinking, but you also see other people struggle with issues, and you get to see how well they process their own issues. I've seen these members challenge each other to do what they do best and to make sure that they get advice and professionals to take care of the other parts of their business so that they continue to progress and they continue to hone what they do best. And there's the basic core value of TAB, which is helping you clarify your business problems and really make sure that you've gone through a good analysis and come up with solutions you might not have thought of before. So expanding your thinking, expanding your options. But beyond that, the members actually help hold each other accountable so that they'll make progress on strategic issues that easily can get brushed aside in the day-to-day. And as they make progress, they really celebrate their successes with each other. So you've got a broader analysis, you've got people holding you accountable for making progress, and people to celebrate that progress with you.
First of all, I would ask them where they typically get their advice from. Do you get it from your attorney? Do you get it from your CPA? Do you get it from your banker? Or are you just, you don't solicit any advice at all because you figure you have it under control? And the less answers they give me, the more I say, hey, you need to get involved with an organization like TAB for people who are business owners in completely separate lines of business, but who may have similar issues to the one that you're facing. And I wouldn't just position it with a business that, quote unquote, was having trouble. I would position it with a successful business that had a lot of growth opportunities out there as well. But I would simply tell them, this is a way for you to get advice from other well-established business people who can kind of point you in the direction on how to capitalize on the growth prospects.
Nice thing about these meetings is that there's a lot of informality, a lot of humor, but it's also very businesslike. These are people who've chosen to be small business people, so they're not pretentious, but they're also not going to waste your time. Their time is extremely valuable. Investing a half a day a month is a huge investment. So they bring their best selves to these meetings. You know, I've just seen Buddy really help teams through planning issues. He's had a lot of experience in pulling groups together to make plans and look over their options and make sure that everybody's perspective is heard. And so Buddy can come in and open up a discussion that maybe a business owner himself could not do. People respect the owner's authority and their investment in the business. They might not voice their opinions. Whereas you bring in someone like Buddy who's got an experience in planning, he can put forth ways of discussing issues that bring the best thinking out of everyone.
Some of them, the businesses that I see, are bigger and they have board of directors on their own that essentially are made up of independent business people outside of the business. But for the most part, they don't. It's you have a rainmaker at the top of the organization and then a certain amount of employees underneath, and that's really it. So the only feedback they get is either from their clients or from their employees. They're not getting feedback from individuals who are independent of the success of the organization. They're not getting that advice from people who see the world through a different lens. And so those are the ones that I would say, okay, you need to have advice from somewhere else.